At the hospital, the doctor wants to schedule a paternity test, but Steffi panics and says it has to be done today. The doctor understands it's stressful. Steffi relays that either man would be an excellent father, but she's hoping it's Finn's. When asked, Steffi confirms both men know the situation. She has to figure this out in order to move on. The doctor explains it's too soon, they have to wait until after 8 weeks. She assures Steffi she'll have answers, but warns her to stay calm in the meantime. Liam carefully enters the cabin and greets Hope. He asks how she is and she snaps, "I've been better." She does love him but relays there's something he should know. Thomas overheard them talking about Steffi and the pregnancy. He knows Liam could be the father. Liam figures he trashed him, but Hope stuns him by saying Thomas urged her to forgive him. She insists he was being sincere. Liam wonders if it had an effect on her. Hope can't just snap her fingers and decide, nor will she be talked into it by anyone. It's going to take time. Liam misses how it was before he heard her. Hope wishes none of it had ever happened, but she can't have that, especially if he's the child's father. Liam gets a text from Steffi asking to see both of them as soon as possible. In the studio, Zoe puzzles over the delayed text from Zend. Carter enters, senses she's distracted and confused, and asks if something's wrong. Zoe covers and Carter enthuses about setting a wedding date. He wonders if she's been thinking about it as much as he has. Carter wants to get the calendar out over dinner later. He exits and Donna appears. She teases Zoe that her husband-to-be gets better looking every day. Zoe asks Donna to let Zend know she needs to see him as soon as possible. In the main office at Forrester Creations, Zend and Paris discuss him resetting his phone. She enthuses that everyone's been so warm and welcoming there. Zend replies, "You mean everyone but Zoe?" He's confused about Zoe not wanting her to work there. Paris feels it has to do with her professional and personal life, including Zend. She lets Zend know that she enjoyed their kiss, but she won't flirt on the job. Donna enters and tells Zend that Zoe needs to see him right away. Zend exits, and Donna chats with Paris about Zend taking an interest in her. Donna goes on about how lucky the Buckingham sisters are and gushes about the idea of going home with a hunk of man like Carter every night. Carter is standing behind her. He appreciates the compliment but has hit the jackpot with Zoe. In the studio, Zoe updates Zend that what she wants to talk about could affect the rest of their lives. Zend's confused. Zoe knows life married to Carter would be good, but she can't stop wondering about them, and what they could be. Zend sighs, "Don't go there." Zoe wouldn't be engaged to him if she knew how Zend felt. "I got your text." She knows he wanted her to take it slow with Carter and meet up with him instead. "It just came through today, Zend." At Steffi's house, she lets Finn know that they're about to meet with Hope and Liam. He's not ready for a big kumbaya-style sit-down, but it's too late as Liam and Hope arrive. Hope asks, "Why are we here?" Steffi states that she and Liam feel terrible about hurting them, but they must deal with what comes next. Her pregnancy was confirmed, but the paternity test will have to wait. The doctor warned her to stop stressing for the baby's sake. She's ashamed she betrayed Finn, but there's nothing ugly about this baby. "I really hope you're the father." If the baby turns out to be Liam's, she wants Hope to know she never meant to undermine her marriage. Once she does the paternity test, they'll find out if the baby is Finn's. Or Liam's.
The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for Monday, January 25th exposes that Zoe Buckingham will get a life-altering text. Due to the fact that her heart longs for somebody else, the design will understand that she might have made an error with Carter Walton. Zoe will get a sweet note that was sent out a long period of time back, for the television guide. Zend advised her to alter options in the message, However, she never ever got his text because of an innovation stopped working. Those who follow the daytime soap understand that there was practically an immediate stimulate in between the designer and the design. Although they had actually resided on various continents, they had actually followed each other on social networks due to the fact that they were fans of each other's work. Zend and Zoe had actually flirted although she was dating Carter Walton. They had a lot in common and shared their life's enthusiasms with each other. Zoe even exposed her singing skill to Zend at the time. He testified assist her more her dreams. On the night that Carter prepared a romantic surprise for Zoe, then gambled and sent out a message to the design asking her to take things slow that night. He likewise wished to satisfy her later on that night. Innovation failed him and then the text was never ever sent out. The bold and the beautiful Zoe will understand that Zend had actually attempted to connect to her with the message. Since he desired her to consider their relationship, he was attempting to inform her not to go too quickly with Carter. Due to the fact that Zoe and his good friend were still in the preliminary phases of their love, he understood that Carter was his pal. However, he was prepared to run the risk of making a relocation. On the night in Zoe, Carter and Concern had actually made love. Zend's hands were connected after they went to sleep and he pulled out of the race. Even when she sought his recommendations after Carter proposed to her, he advised her to wed the man who loves her. He never ever showed that he had an interest in her. When she faces Zend about his sensations, the bold and the beautiful spoilers show that Zoe will make a sensational option. Later on, she pitches up at his home with strategies to seduce him. Daily spoilers show that Zoe will get the SMS. Due to the fact that she had actually been waiting for an indication from the designer that he was interested in her, it will be a terrible blow to her. As seen listed below, she recognizes that she would have altered choices if she had actually understood how Zend felt about her. Zoe wished to see if there was any heat with Zend, and Liam remained in warm water for fertilizing Steffi. Flo didn't desire to wait till winter season's over to feel the heat, so she spilled some tea with year's Summer Newman. Cross through the crossover with 2 scoops. Mike, has your week been beautiful and bold? Did you go to your closet to try out a brand new flirt? Did you choose you needed to get testy? Did you find that dirt is more productive in California than in Wisconsin? It's a brand new period, scoopers. Not simply in the White House, but for Steffi, who once again discovers herself on the Who's the Daddy flight. Zoe has a completely great fiancé, however can't stop thirsting for Zend, with whom her story a minimum of budged a little. Their tales fade compared to the suddenly interesting crossover including year's Summer Newman, who desired the meal on Sally. Why all prepared? Let's scoop about it. Zoe is now formally on my list and you understand which one I'm speaking about. It ain't Christmas. It struck me just recently she is now doing precisely the exact same thing to Carter that Thomas did to her. You understand, acting all into a relationship while not so secretly wanting another person? Karma typically does not operate in reverse like this. Zoe, all individuals, need to not be keeping Carter on a string while taking a look at her other alternatives. I think because the Z-Girl was not able to keep Paris from taking the Forrester Foundation position, which would place her near Zend, Zoe chose to up her video game. If there's anything to the obvious triggers in between her and Zend, now she's informing Zend that she should not wed Carter till she discovers out. Zoe needs to have unique glasses to see those triggers, since they're undetectable to me. All I see is a lady who lastly got herself a good hunk of a guy who's completely into her and can't assist effing everything up. We have actually gotten tips prior to that. That's how